Sir Godwinson live news alert. It's episode 4 of Total Groiper Destruction. The arc continues. And in this one, there are more revelations. There are yet more explosive details of which to relay onto the audience. And on the hour, we'll be doing heroin. No, we won't. Instead, we'll be consuming that drug known as the Sector and getting high off that. So, where to begin? Ladies and gentlemen, I can scarcely believe it's scarcely even been a week. And it's all in flames. The sky has fallen. Ethan Ralph has brought down complete decimation of Cozy TV, of the Groipers, of Nick Fuentes, and his ilk. It's the end, folks. Perfect jumping on point, episode 4, as we'll recap events and wonder what's next. We've got a packed agenda tonight, so it's a super show, and I hope we can get through it in the amount of time that I've allotted for it. If not, there will be 2 super shows. So, we begin. And probably the most apt place to begin is here, folks. And on this one, it's a quick question of care to explain. Care to explain? Nick? This is Nick Fuentes saying that he'd rather have sex with Jaden McChrist than be friends with Ralph. I mean, it can be arranged, I guess. I guess out of all of those realms of possibility, that's probably the most plausible. Is anyone surprised? Shall we stop the presses on that one? I think there are a great many things that Fuentes would rather do, that would rather not do, in favour of sleeping with Jaden McChrist. I think Nick would rather sleep with Jaden as opposed to, cleaning his room. As opposed to, find a girlfriend and stop being a pedophile. Is it just me? Or does it seem like that's the one thing that's on his mind anyway? Of course he'd rather have sex with Jaden. I think there are a great many things that he would rather not do in favour of having sex with Jaden, is the point of this one. But we'd be remiss, folks, because it looks like, as ever, when one falls, another takes its place. Sides are switching all the time. I can scarcely keep up with who's who and what flags fly what colours. But I know for a fact that, of course, this one's colours are always going to be the faggiest. Are always going to be... Who is it, folks? Who could it be? What's going on now? That horn is being sounded, I guess. Is anyone really surprised? It's Teddy! Oh no! Now, Teddy's been campaigning for the Cozy TV channel And I think he's got it. And if he hasn't got it, like, what the fuck, bro? You've debased yourself to all in sundry. You deserve it. This is for you, bruh. But obviously, as it's falling, maybe this is a sort of insight into why Teddy hasn't yet got that cozy channel. Because whilst it's all burning down around his ears, whilst his massa, Catboy Nick, is really feeling the heat of the Ralph and Wright. What do you think the new attack dog's doing? Because Old Yeller ain't up to it, and we'll explore what Old Yeller's up to. What do you think the new attack dog is doing? Teddy Feezer, what could he possibly... What trump card does he have in his arsenal tonight? What could he possibly be doing as Rome burns around him?
But I think we are going to hop right into it.
Hop right into it.
Let's get this show on the road here. Came across an absolute doozy of an article last week, and I haven't had the time to get around to it. But
An absolute doozy of an article.
and so this is... Oh, no, please don't tell me it's paywalled. Please don't tell me it's paywalled. Okay, it looks like they're trying...
Is it the article where Fuentes violates his NDA and reveals that Kanye West wanted to change his name to a swastika? Is that the article you're about? The absolute doozy of an article, RPG? Is that where we're going, bro?
But maybe I'm still getting it for free. I don't know. Let's take a look while we still can. This is from Wired Magazine.
That's right, folks. So, whilst it's all burning down around his ears, whilst Fuentes is screaming at him through Telegram to find something, do something, go on the attack, Teddy Feezer's here reviewing a doorbell. In depth. For hours. Bruh. So, where we are with episode 4, we are entering a sort of land of complete cope and delusion where we gaslight the audience and review doorbells in favor of addressing the actual issue at hand.
Actually know if it's a magazine anymore. Probably isn't because who in the right mind would pay for such drivel. But Wired Magazine ostensibly is a tech magazine or a tech blog now.
Giving the definition of Wired Magazine.
They would be recommending to you the products that work the best. So for example, if they're doing a write-up on security cameras.
No, for real, folks. That's legit what he's doing for hours. He's reviewing doorbells whilst it all burns down around his ears. I can scarcely believe it either. I couldn't quite believe that Teddy had stooped that low. The deflection had really become it's appalling, quite frankly. Because whilst he ignores the attacks of the army that's rised against him and his massa, whilst he does that, he's also dropping in stuff like this that is equally as shameful, really. Stick to the doorbells.
Controversial, and I'm still debating it, but like it or not, expanding the stream to cozy will help me refocus on the original mission.
The original mission of reviewing doorbells.
There is an audience there that is interested in the political discussion. And like I said, I need people to trust me when I say that if I were to do that, if I were to go through with it, I'm still deliberating. There's a lot that I need to consider here. And, I'm not making any decisions hastily. I really am putting a lot of serious thought into this.
Will he take it, folks?
To trust me.
Will he take the cozy channel? What might Teddy Feezer be considering as he ponders the existential question of, do I take the cozy channel? Might he be considering that it's full of pedophiles and it would compromise any position that he has? Might he be considering that for the past 5 or so years, he's been A-logging Fuentes day in, day out, without fail, unfailingly watching everything, writing down the timestamps like an autistic Rain Man in order to drink next. Might he be considering that one, the complete heel turn that he'll be making by jumping onto cozy? Might he be considering the existential crisis that must be going through his head that he'll lose the 10 viewers that he has on YouTube in favour of 5 that he'll have on Cozy? What might Teddy Feezer be considering? Because I sure tell you one thing that Teddy's not considering. He's not considering moving out of his mum's basement. He's not considering getting a job finally after 40 years. He's not considering making a family or any sort of name for himself beyond being an absolute joke. Teddy Feezer, what might you be considering, bruh? What thoughts might be swishing through that head, bruh? Like, come on. I'll tell you what one thought must be going around his head. How much longer can he secure his mum's sunglasses to make himself look younger? How much more access will he have to his mum's makeup cabinet so he can slather himself with all of a foundation and a mascara in order to make himself look younger for the groiper twinks that he wishes to pander to going forward? Is it just me? Teddy? Shameless and transparent as ever. Shameless and transparent as ever, but he continues to ponder the existential crisis at play.
I say that nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to change. I'll still be the RPG that you guys know and love.
I doubt it.
To one additional platform.
I mean, the RPG that you guys know and love. I don't know, Teddy. I don't think we loved you in the first place, bruh. I genuinely don't think there was any sentiment that could even be construed as love there, bruh. I'm sure it was hatred and complete apathy the whole way along, Teddy. But it's glad to know, it's heartwarming to know that you're not self-aware enough to realise that you're an absolute faggot.
Just be simulcasting to one additional platform. And if I could expand the stream, and if I could add, I mean, who knows?
Who knows what reach, what clout, what viewership RPG will have by jumping on Cozy TV? Who knows, folks? Who could possibly comprehend the limits of Teddy Feezer? Does he have no limits? Has he broken those limits? What does he need to do, folks, before he realises it's all for naught and it's all been a complete scam? What does he need to do to win his mother's pride, folks? What does he need to do? I think the answer's simple, don't you? But
available there, but if I could add, let's say, even 100 new viewers to the stream.
100 new viewers a stream. That would mean that Teddy now has 102 viewers per every live stream. Was it worth it, folks? Was it worth it, Teddy, for the 102 viewers that you will have upon the cozy alliance that you wish to embark upon?
Is objectively a good thing. And now the haters can say whatever they want about that, and they will.
We will.
But I don't care what the haters have to say about that.
I bet you do,
I
Teddy.
need to do what's best for me, not what's best for them. What's best for them is that I...
Getting a job and moving out is best for you, Mom. It's best for you and not for me, Mom.
Crash and fail. That's what they want. They want to ruin my life. They have attempts to do so.
Absolutely.
They want to destroy me. They want me to quit. They want me to
Correct.
give up. They want me to surrender.
You're 100%
I'm
correct.
not going to do that. I'm never going to do that.
I bet.
And I'm going to adapt and do what needs to be done in order to,
I mean, he can't even deliver it properly. I'll never give up and I'll never surrender, Teddy. It's not hard. You'll do what needs to be done? Will you really, Teddy? Or will you stop mid-sentence and sort of comprehend the stupidity of the words that you're saying? Oh, I think it's the latter option, don't you?
In order to keep the stream moving along. So...
This guy's only ambition is to keep the stream moving along. What lofty goals, Teddy. Keep the stream moving along. Wow. What showmanship. I can scarcely believe we're even here. Keep the stream moving along. It's an amnesty for those that wish to take it. Even Gator. Even Gator, folks. And on this one, we look at what that amnesty might mean. Because it seems that Feeder don't want to take the amnesty. Fragmenko hasn't been offered the amnesty, and Cog's Cog. But we look at who will take that amnesty going forward. What does it mean to even partake in the amnesty? You know who won't be partaking in the amnesty? And we've been wanting to do this one a while. We're introducing a new character into the arc. And I'm sure that this character thinks he's the main character, just like they all do. But unfortunately, this main character set up a Pornhub account in order to watch his own daughter's sex tape and apparently upload it. Who could it be, folks? Who might it be as we move forward on the conditions of a blanket amnesty? Who might it be? Is it the top-hatted, cigarette-smoking anus man? No. Is it the whale pig wife? No. Is it this? No. Is it that? I guess no. I've lost beyond the anus man and the whale wife. I am lost at the remaining three. But I know who this is. It's Mr. Vickers, folks. And we'll hear Mr. Vickers go. And I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot more from him in this arc because he can't understand why or how the A-Log army that he's attempted to gather and garner like a fucking soy jack Nick Fury has decided to say that Ralph is all right. Ralph's leading the charge. And we don't give a shit about you or your BPD whore of a daughter. Say it isn't so! Well, it is so, Mr. Vickers. It is so.
So Shaggy goes on to say, with such confidence and mathematician skills, that the account was opened before any of this stuff started with Ethan Ralph. So Shaggy, your math is keen. If all he would have done, it says right on there that 7 months ago, that account achieved the 2-year.
He's talking about the Pornhub
yes,
account that he created in order to watch his own daughter's sex
2
tape.
years on a Pornhub account, showing 7 months prior to that. So it was open 2 years and 7 months ago. And if you do the math on when the account was open, you'll find, S.O. Shaggy, you fucking retard, that it was...
Whoa, Mr. Vickers. By the way, Mr. Vickers is a man who, in court documents that I have read with my own eyes, has claimed that because someone called him a pedophile on the internet, that person being Ethan Ralph, that Mr. Vickers is now physically crippled by the insult. Physically crippled. And he's written that in court documents and sent his lawyer to sue Ralph for being physically crippled by the word pedophile. So that's where we are with Mr. Vickers.
5 days after Ethan Ralph dropped the revenge porn. So what did Vicious Vickers do? What was I doing 5 days after the revenge porn was dropped? I was still in DC with Mrs. Vickers. She was actually aware of this. We did it together because people on Kiwi Farm started talking about how the video was showing up on Pornhub. We had already been in contact with the police, even though Faith was the only one who was allowed to report.
That's right, folks. That's right. He might have skipped over it, but what you just heard him say was that he watched his own daughter's sex tape with his wife, the mother of the whore. I imagine it's like, you know, like Lawrence Fishburne's daughter, Chippy D, became like a complete hoe trash piece of shit. And Lawrence Fishburne occasionally, well, I imagine like minutely, is sent tweets of his own daughter like sucking on rod and shit. And he can't get away from it because it's an eternal shame. Well, Vickers willingly partook in that behaviour. He might see himself as like the Lawrence Fishburne of our sector, but Lawrence Fishburne never created the Pornhub account and sorted it out. Lawrence Fishburne never sat there with his wife and watched it in full, many times.
I didn't want to watch the fucking video.
Liar!
As it turns out, if you have a free Pornhub account, you can download the video without having to watch it. And
he downloaded the video? He downloaded his own daughter's sex tape. These are literally what he is saying right now, the words that he is speaking.
It right over to the popo.
He downloaded it without having to watch it. Well, how did he even know it was the right thing to download? How come he wasn't just downloading any old random porn and sending it to the popo? It's because he watched it. And in his own words there, he says he watched it with his wife. It is tough, ladies and gentlemen. Now, is it normal for a man to, like, create a Pornhub account, download it, and watch his daughter's pornography? It is not a normal course of events of which, like, the fathers of the sector should really partake within. Unfortunately, we're here. And that's where we're at. And Mr. Vickers, I don't know if he's been offered the blanket amnesty, but he will not be receiving it. Because Vickers saw himself as the main character and didn't see that the shifting alliances would shift to the point where no one even gave a fuck about Ralph. Really. The audience that was gathered A-logging Ethan Ralph was ultimately gathered in favor of A-logging Nick Fuentes and America First. That's what it was all about. And those that have come into it with personal animuses against Ralph have found that it's all for naught. That those in the sector shift and swap their allegiances all the time. And no one gives a fuck about you or your whore daughter or whatever. No one gives a fuck. No one gave a fuck. They only use it as a hammer to which to troll someone else with. And that trolling has ceased. So unless your daughter's been railed by Nick, unless there's a sex tape out there of maybe your son being railed by Nick Fuentes, it's time to move on, Mr. Vickers. It's time to shufty off, Mr. Vickers, and enjoy, like, life as a cripple, I guess. Actually be what you're lying about in the court documents, I guess. Shufty on. Unless you want to offer another child up for the sacrifice, as you did the first time in 2020. So shufty on, faggot. When we consider the amnesty at play, who will be taking it and who won't be taking it, and just the reasons why they won't be, we have to obviously consider the personal animuses at play. Those that have gone too far into the sector that they've lost sight of the game. And I think that's a perfect précis for which to go into this one, don't you, ladies and gentlemen? We're weaving a thread, a theme. And we are just about here.
I just, like when we saw Ralph get kicked off of Cozy, it's supposed to be funny because Like,
That's the end.
it's the end. It was like
He's fucked. He has no audience or base of support. But then it's like, no,
it's like,
guys.
no, he's amazing now. What? What the fuck? No, he's not. We were cheering him losing it because he'd be even more poor.
We wanted him to die!
Like, we didn't fucking cheer it because we're like, yay, he's on our side now.
Unfortunately, the audience you gathered by attacking Ralph and then on a slow news week attacking Nick Fuentes and America First has meant that when you attack Ralph now and he's on the up and he's attacking America First just like you were, it turns out that audience you gathered want to drink Nick's blood more than they ever did Ralph's. For them, the Ralph shit was the slow news week and not your personal animus against another fat drunk. Whoa. Who could have thought, ladies and gentlemen, that these events could have transpired this way? Well, I guess I did. I guess I was saying it the whole time. And so when you see them playing Final Fantasy 16 and waiting for the end and waiting for them all to start drinking Ralph's blood again, you lose sight of the game that you entered into. The devil's bargain that you made has actually been fulfilled now. And you'll never receive the justice that you entered into this for. You, Mr. Vickers, Cog. No, it's done. Instead, your justice has become our justice of watching you seethe. Now it's time to either jump on board and play the game as it used to be played, or you'll be eternally forgotten as an eternal loser. And it's entirely up to you, the cards that you wish to deal, because they're in your hands.
Oh, yay! No!
The only time it might happen where me and Godwinson reconcile is when Ralph dies. Because I think for the show where everybody dabs on Ralph the final time, we have to get all the A-logs and haters there. And we talked about...
No, I don't think that PPP's going to make it on the Ralph death stream. I don't even think Warski's going to make it at the Ralph death stream. I think we'll have done the Warski and PPP joint suicide stream way before we enter the Ralph candlelit tribute to a king stream. That's the real talk. That's the reality of situation, folks. They ain't gonna make it to the Ralph Twilight stream. And they never were. They were merely filler characters for the main characters to appear on the battlefield. I've been like dying of a heart virus and Ralph has been in like in a spaceship waiting to land on planet Namek. And these two, fucking Gohan and Piccolo have had their necks broken by the Ginyu Force and literally been like... I mean, whilst Warski was able to go toe-to-toe with Android 17, it still looks like Imperfect Cell came along and fucking tore his ass asunder. So it looks like we're there. Now, they could easily get power-ups, I guess. One could fuse with Kami and turn orange, and the other one could go Super Saiyan 2. But all they have to do, folks, is join us in the hyperbolic time chamber as we contemplate the end game of the arc. Unfortunately, some people just can't take an olive branch.
That for years. But who even knows at this point?
Who even knows at this point? Who even knows at this point? You know who does know at this point?
Yes, you sure can. Go ahead.
The 404 Horsemen of the
If you don't mind-
Apocalypse.
Hey, I'm sorry. I know you're about to launch into a segment here, and I only got like a minute.
Class act,
Can I
Big
say
Mike.
something before I go real quick?
Yes, you sure can. Go ahead.
Class act.
Yeah, while you're in here too, Godwinson, I want to say thanks for saying what you said last night.
Anytime, brother.
You're funny, and
I know.
You were going in on me on Cozy, and I saw it for what it was, and I sort of like played with it a little bit, and mostly ignored it because
One
it
sec,
was like
one sec.
whatever. But
Man
thank you.
Fading in the night
yeah.
sent $4.04, 400.
Let's go!
Flex bicep. Juggler.
Flex.
Face with monocle. Fencing.
All right, now go ahead. Finish your thought, Big Tech. Thank you.
Yeah,
Class
so I
act.
just wanted to say, I wanted to acknowledge that, say thank you for saying that. That was, I saw it and appreciate it. Thank you. And that was very kind. And Alberto, it's nice to talk to you again. I know there's some stuff coming your way in UX. UX is, there's a lot of people that are rising in the list of targets right now. I mean, I've already gone in on Wurzelroot and
Get him!
and Beardson.
Now we'll be going in on Wurzelroot as well. That's what some of this show is going to be about. So a little dip into the future there.
And there's plenty more to do with them, and they're just like eternal lolcows for me now. But I'm looking at Steven Franson, and I'm looking at
Oh,
UX, and there's other people who need to be rising and
Kill them all, big tech.
And I see
Class
that we're
act,
doing
by
right
the way.
now. Yeah, no, this mobilization. I don't know if Ralph, it's up
Mobilizing.
to you. I mean, you're the guy to make the call. What do they get? Like a week to jump ship
I
across
think
Total
that's
War, or what?
fair.
What's the time frame?
7 days, starting from Big Tech's announcement right there. You have 7 days
All right, let's go.
to change your path and turn around and cease and desist from supporting this fucking closeted homosexual who's protecting pedophiles and doing other dirt. And you all know he's dirty. If you've been around him long enough, you know he's dirty. You know how he is. And look, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was a part of that. And, I saw some people on Twitter, giving me shit, and it's like, they're groypers giving me shit. And it's like, well, I mean, I'm kind of like a whistleblower, really. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I was on the inside of some of that. Yeah, I did support some of that. There's no doubt. I wish I hadn't, but it doesn't jive with reality.
It doesn't jive with reality, and the reality is that there's such a thing as making up for lost time. That's what this is, folks. Making up for lost time. Because whilst we were there, co-signing everything, Fuentes as attack dogs, receiving sealed orders of which to execute, the whole fucking time, we knew it stung. We knew he was a pedophile, and we knew it was time that only us could really bring him justice. So we knew that only the main characters could deliver the crushing blow. I guess you could call it intel gathering, really. That's what it was all about. Men on the inside who checked out and wanted to gather as much intelligence as possible in order to destroy them even greater when we emerged as kings. Making up for that lost time, you might even say. So, on the subject of making up for lost time, I thought this was pretty apt.
Apparently, there's a lot of accused. Again, I don't know that for a fact, but I'm thinking. Again, that's just what we know, and apparently, there's a lot of accusers. If they're listening, I do want to apologize again, and I said this last week, but I was kind of tough on one of the accusers, Smiley. Now, again, I was not in the right mind state, and I was fucked up, but I still want to apologize for my actions there. I'm fully willing to answer for anything I've done. And, a lot of it was unsavory and not the way to go. And so, again, did it just skip for a second? Okay, well, I don't know if you heard that. But, again, I apologize to Smiley for that. I apologize for my actions with that. Go ahead.
Very proud of you, Ralph.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So it's true, and it's true that I got a few things to answer for too. Now I think I've been doing a pretty good job of answering for them, but I don't.
Redemption.
Nobody needs to whitewash the record for me like they do for Fuentes. Like they lie for him. I don't need that type of. I don't need that type of defense. So, and I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't need it, and I don't want it. So. Yeah, there's some mistakes I made for sure. And that's right at the top of the list. Running defense for these fags. And on a story that I knew was, even in my state, I knew that was bad. I knew that I was basically doing the wrong thing. And so, even though I was kind of like out of it and kind of in my attack dog mode, I knew that was the wrong thing to do. And I want to apologize again for that publicly.
Making up for lost time. Now, it's kind of weird, isn't it? When they've painted Ralph in such a way that he'll never yield and he'll always be a lolcow and he's basically the next Christian, don't you know? That he's willing to show humility, to say where he's wrong and how he was wrong. And what he was wrong on is this. Because he said the opposite of what this is. Ali Alexander is a pedophile. Nick Fuentes allowed the pedophile into the hen coop for which to groom groypers that were underage, like Smiley, so he could slide in their DMs and ask for underage photographs of them nude. And Fuentes, upon finding out that all of this would be a scandal, Fuentes offered hush money payments to the victims and sent sealed orders to his attack dogs in order to silence them even further. Those that wouldn't take the payments would be destroyed. That's the reality of what happened. And you better believe that it's still going on right now. Ali Alexander has shifted himself into other people's DMs. Those that are too afraid to say anything otherwise, because they saw what happened to Smiley. They saw what happened to the others that spoke out. So actually it's worse now than it was then. Far worse. And that's why this is righteous. A crusade. A divine crusade against pedophiles and evil actors. It's real. And it's never been more real than it is now. So, as we consider the amnesty, we look at those that have taken that amnesty. Those that have redeemed themselves, just like Ralph has done, just like Godwinson has done. Who has redeemed themselves in the eyes of the Lord and made it all okay again to be a king in the sector? Who's redeemed themselves this time, folks? Who could it be? Sorry, Gator. And I mean it this time. Sorry, Gator. Because you've accepted the olive branch. Fuentes has fucked up so bad that even mortal enemies are setting aside long-standing beef to dunk on his so-called movement. Get him, Gator. Take the olive branch. Dine with kings. His arrival is imminent. Out of everyone you could have tried to make that argument with, you picked exactly the wrong person. It's a microcosm of how delusional the average groyper is. Fucking preach it. Testify, Gator. Testify. What has Nick actually accomplished except scamming donos? For real, my nigga. I've helped take down a political campaign too. And you know what? In the spirit of the amnesty, I'm not even going to extradite that and say he's talking bullshit. I'm going to co-sign it as yes. Of course, he's also taking down political campaigns in his spare time. It's Shannon Gaines triumphant. The difference is that it was an opposing campaign and not the one I was helping at the time. Now, Charlie Kirk could ask Nick, how does anal sex win the culture war? And, you know, Gator's in the trenches, just like it's 2018 again. Fighting the good fight on the winning side. I could scarcely believe it when I saw that he took the olive branch so willingly, so readily. But he knows which way the wind blows. Yes, you get it now. Nick has never won anything in his life except eternal ridicule. And you know what? I'm not even going to take the obvious in there and say that Shannon Gaines has never won anything in his life apart from obvious ridicule. I'm not even going to do that, folks. Because Shannon Gaines is triumphant. Gator's a winner here. And you get it now. Nick has never won anything in his life except eternal ridicule. We keep laughing as he cries, and we are still laughing. Whoa! Sorry, Gator! For real this time! He's coming home, bitch! Hop in! Let's fucking go! Sorry, Gator! Sorry, Gator! He's coming home, bitch! His arrival is imminent. Whoa! Explosive sharp turns in this arc. In the total Groiper destruction arc. Where will our next turn take us, folks? Where will our next turn take us? Oh.
Some people were messaging me saying that...
Hey, what's up?
Catboy Cammy on the kill stream. Nick's boyfriend.
Some people...
The man who Nick went on a 12-hour Catboy date with and filmed it. And showed them kissing and staring lovingly into each other's eyes. It's Catboy Cammy's appearance on the kill stream. Where will this go?
Messaging me saying that you guys mentioned me a little while ago and you were asking where I am or something, because you didn't...
Where is your position, Catboy Cammy? Are you located 2 inches deep into Nick's anus? Please respond. What exactly is your position on the total Groiper destruction arc that we've been seeing play out over the past week? Catboy Cammy, is now your time to respond.
No, I was back. So, yeah, I mean, I've been streaming on Telegram for a while now. I've got my main Telegram channel that I'm calling you from now, which is just @Catboy on Telegram. So, in case anyone was wondering.
Well, very cool. By the way, here's a super chat, and then I'll let that play and talk to you a little bit more.
Illegal
Support Tyler Russell.
called Tyler Russell. He's a leech of America living on Daltron's coast.
And that's right, folks. Now, Tyler Russell needs to be deported. Deport Tyler Russell now. He's living on Dalton Clodfelter's couch. Like a bum. Like a peasant. Like Mersh. Like PPP. An absolute bum who needs to be deported today. 7 days.
Apparently, should I say this publicly? You know, I don't actually have too much against
Say it!
But I was told in Florida that if he even gets pulled over, that he's getting deported because he doesn't have his paperwork in order.
Good.
And,
Well, I thought he was going to save Canada. It was the Canada part.
No, I was literally told that they're trying to get his paperwork in order, but that he's out like driving and doing shit when he shouldn't be doing that because if he even gets a ticket, they'll literally send his ass back to Canada.
Deport Tyler Russell. Send him back. Send him back to Canada where he belongs.
I was told that by several people.
Cattle prod him off Dalton Clodfelter's couch.
I was told that by several people in Florida. So.
Send him into the wilderness.
I didn't actually expect you to call.
Let him live in exile with Andy Warski and PPP.
The whole chat popped for that. Obviously.
You have to go back, Tyler Russell. Your papers are not in order, sir. It appears your visa is written in crayon.
You want to call it a date or whatever, but people have said that like you went on a date with Nick or whatever.
I mean, I'm just an IRL streamer mostly. I was just doing an IRL stream.
He did an IRL stream, which was an IRL date with Nick Fuentes that he streamed for 12 hours. Shirtless and wearing catboy ears the whole time. They not only went for milkshakes and gazed lovingly into each other's eyes, they not only sang George Michael songs in Nick's car. They not only walked around in the dark with Catboy Cammy offering to piggyback Nick because Nick could no longer walk. They not only did that, but they also blew each other and kissed. It was just an IRL stream, I guess, with lots of homosexuality thrown in.
Yeah, so you don't consider that.
Alright.
But
So you
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
did you? So you deny all any kind of homosexual relations with Nick Fuentes?
Yeah, I mean, I just more wanted to come on to let because I guess people don't know.
Yeah.
Huh?
No, to let people know you're back, right?
Yeah.
Now, the way his appearance ends on the kill stream is that he's so pressed on this Catboy date that he just starts screaming the N-word over and over again in order to get Ralph's channel completely deplatformed from Rumble. I guess that was what was in Nick's sealed orders. Deny everything. Deny the objective reality of events. Deny the 12 hours of homosexual activity that was streamed out for all and sundry to see. And just start screaming the N-word in order to get Ralph deplatformed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was more just easiest fucking at to remember, just at Catboy on Telegram.
It's pretty easy. Yeah.
And yeah, I just wanted to say like kill niggers, behead niggers, roundhouse kick a nigger into the.
And that's where we're at, folks. That's what he was doing in an attempt to deplatform Ralph.
I knew he was going to do that.
He knew he was going to do that.
Yes. And quoting
quoting Mein Kampf as well.
Also, he's lying too. He definitely fucked Nick Fuentes, so
he did.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
110%.
Yeah, 110%.
Sorry, bro.
Imagine, Nick, you were fucked in the bum by Catboy Cammy. That is your life, bruh. And it's not even a stretch of the imagination to consider that reality, because we've got 12 hours of foreplay leading up to the event. We've got more there. We've got more context there than I imagine most gay pornos have. For real. 12-hour foreplay of you gazing into each other's eyes and singing George Michael tracks. Of a shirtless Catboy Cammy offering to piggyback you. Of you going shopping together and commenting upon each other's outfits. Of you buying milkshakes together and swapping the straws. But you know what? It's total ancillary groiper destruction. Poor Wurzelroot! For every pound I lose, you gain 3. Seems to be invading your brain now too. So if you don't know, you should know. Ralph doxed Wurzelroot righteously, because Wurzelroot's a snake faggot. Who for every £1 that Ralph loses, he gains 3. My backup stream from the old channel, more viewers than anything on Koza right now. And there's Wurzelroot streaming to no one. Bruh, I just checked Ralph's stream. LaBelle. Oh, Wurzelroot, we just checked your weight, bro. Look how fat this fuck's become. Look how fat that fat fuck has become. For every pound that Ralph loses, you're a curse to gain 3. Wurzel fat. And you know what? We'll call your number live on stream, bruh. I don't have the clip of him reacting to his docs, but there was a panic in his eyes as he comprehended how he would do it. And then what he does is deny the reality that his docs is his docs and the number isn't real, and Ralph failed doxed him. We'll put it to the test, just like we did Medica Masochist, shall we, Wurzelroot? Shall we put it to the test, Wurzelroot? Fat fuck. Destined to die of food-induced coma. You might wonder, how can you have a fat snake? Well, I'ma show you.
Since he tried to fuck me up. I've been slaving away in the tomato fields for the past
my god.
Anyway,
2 fat snakes.
improving our
Is it
gardening
worth
abilities
the
together.
$3?
How are your tomatoes
Hey, tomato groipers growing
Whoa, tomatoes! Holy fuck.
doing?
And then as he's got the gun in his mouth, I'm trying to get the tomato groiper. Hey, I got my garden going, bud.
You know?
Like,
since he tried to fuck me up, he's sort of like double.
Holy fucking cock-sucking bitch. Chonky honky.
50-20 son! Let's go!
We back!
Oh, 7 through the
That's that high-level commentary you've come to expect from the filler arc characters. That's the high-level... Vivian! It's crazy! That's the high-level commentary you expect from the other side. But now competence is back. Now there is like genuine competence and talent back in the sector. Unless they somehow comprehend the olive branch in front of them before the 7 days run out, will they just wither away and die? Will they execute themselves? I have no idea, but I look forward to it, whatever the outcome. So, watch this and let me know your thoughts and opinions, folks. It's Old Yeller, Fuentes' old attack dog, being brought into the light. But he can't do it. He has the incompetence like those others do. Except it's like every time he speaks and does anything, he's shooting his own side in the face with an AK-47.
Hang out, so we hung out. I had a bit to drink, and I don't normally drink. I've given up drinking, but I felt like this was like a...
Just hand in your ankle card that quick? Unbelievable.
I think you meant to say incel card that quick, and I mean...
I'll give you the
look, I had a
context of
lot
this once it
sex
plays
last
out.
year, and I'm not proud of it. I had a lot of sex last year, and I'm not proud of it, alright? But, so, I wouldn't say it's like I handed it in that quick, alright?
Wurzelroot just like wiping away the grease from his face. Fat fuck.
It didn't even arrive in the mail yet. You already lost it.
It was about a week, but yeah. yeah. You know, he hit me up. He wanted to hang out, so we hung out. I had a bit to drink.
He hit me up. He wanted to hang out. I had a bit to drink. What's the context of this one, folks? What are they talking about? Old Yeller in the fat fuck. Well, it looks like Beardson, in his attempt to, deflect criticisms of Nick Fuentes, has confirmed that he's gone on a date with a man. But he was hammered, I guess, so it's okay. And he had lots of sex last year with other men. Because his wife ran off with the local black man. And this is how he clears it up for his massa. By making more mess. By rolling in the mess like a pig. And making himself stink of the same shit that his massa's trying to spray with Febreze or some shit. It's where we're at. 4 things tonight.
He hit me up. He wanted to hang out, so we hung out. I had a bit to drink, and I don't normally drink. I've given up drinking, but I felt like this was like...
Liar.
Just hand in your ankle card that quick? Unbelievable.
I think you meant to say incel card that quick. And, I mean, look, I had a lot of sex last year.
With men.
I'm not proud of it, alright? I had a lot of sex last year, and I'm not proud of it, alright? But, so, I wouldn't say it's like I handed it in that quick, alright?
Never had it, man. Got back 3 days. It didn't even arrive in the mail yet. You already lost it.
It was about a week, but yeah. yeah. He hit me up. He wanted to
And you know what?
so
The maniacal Joker laughter gives away the fact that Beardson's been ploughed by probably the same local black man that ran off with his wife. Maybe he wants to understand where she was coming from. Take on her complaints and criticisms and concerns by getting railed by local black men. He handed in that incel card rather quickly, is what I want to say to that. So, we take a short dip back into where we were right at the top of this stream. It's perennial favourite. And this isn't gonna go any way in like making him rise in the estimations of Catboy pedophile Führer Nick Fuentes, Mexican child leader of the white race? Is it? You decide. Will this statement go any further in making him rise where he falls in his mom's basement?
Take the stream in from here. And basically, what I've come to realize, and this will be obvious to some, I'm sure, but the only way for me to move on from the drama is to stop following it and to stop talking about it.
I don't know.
Basically, what direction I want to take the stream in from here. And basically, what I've come to realize, and this will be obvious to some, I'm sure, but the only way for me to move on from the drama is to stop following it and to stop talking about it. What's ended up...
So that's why he's reviewing doorbells, I guess. That's why it's non-stop, hour upon hour, reviewing doorbells. That's gonna get him the Cozy Channel. That's gonna win Nick's favor. And not him putting himself in the Wicker Man and setting himself on fire in order to distract from Nick's catboy pedophilia. No. High IQ move will be to review doorbells.
Happening a lot recently is, like, the thing with drama is there's always there's always something new to talk about, and it sucks you back in. Basically, what direction I... Now,
Teddy is, like, and always has been, a drama YouTuber. If Nick farted, he did a 4-hour stream on it. If Nick thought about farting, he'd do a 4-hour stream on it. He has always been a drama streamer. But as ever, as is always the refrain, when the heat rises on them, when they start to feel a bit of the heat under their collar, then suddenly drama's unfunny and cringe and gay. And this right here is a serious political platform. And that's your serious political prophet telling you the next thoughts and actions you need to take in order to make your life better. Really? Is that where we're at, Teddy? Is that really where we're at? We're just going to gaslight ourselves into the fact that you aren't an absolute faggot, degenerate loser who's wasted 40 years of your life in your mum's basement. Is that really what we're going to do? What we're going to do instead is beyond belief, fact or fiction, this one. So it's a segment I've wanted to do for a while, but I feel it's apt now. Beyond belief, fact or fiction. Is it real, or did our writers just make it all up? You decide. And on today's segment of Beyond Belief, we question ourselves on the issue of Jaden McJudas, now known as Jaden McChrist. Jaden McNeil. Beyond Belief, fact or fiction. And obviously, Ultros and Victor Sharp in the history. Beyond Belief, fact or fiction. Is it real, or did our writers just make it up? You decide. So, here...
his legal name. And when I hear that, I'm like, wait, what? But Ultros is in here. So, when beginning the proceeding, the judge addresses Ultros by his legal name. And when I hear that, I'm like, wait, what? But Ultros is in here. So I look over, and sure enough, he actually was there. I didn't see him, but as it turns out, he was there all along. So in my mind, I was thinking, oh shit, he didn't show up. But as it turns out, he was there the entire time. And I thought that he was one of the attorneys because I think, like, from behind, because he was dressed like his attorney, like he was dressed in like in a suit, and I was dressed like this. I was a bit more casual.
Now, I mean, he went to court. He went into a courtroom to fight for his life, liberty, and freedom, dressed like this. Even a gay octopus pedophile, beyond belief, fact or fiction, we'll decide the matter later. But even gay octopus pedophile Ultros Victor Sharp was better suited than this. He wasn't even fighting for his life, but you know who was? Teddy Feezer. Teddy Feezer was fighting for his life and his freedom and his liberty. And he wore the hat. He dressed like this.
But he was there, as it turns out, and I didn't even recognize him because
I guess Teddy was expecting like the actual octopus from Final Fantasy VI to sort of wheel itself in. I guess that's what Teddy was expecting.
based on the pictures of him that I've seen online versus what I saw today in person, I'm not saying this to be provocative. I'm not saying this to be nasty. I'm not saying this to attack. Genuinely, if I had to describe his appearance, he looked like the Crypt Keeper to me. If you're familiar with the Crypt Keeper, I'm not even joking. He looked like a zombified mortician, and I'm not even joking when I say he appeared to be sick. He actually appeared to be like his skin.
Now, he's not describing Jim. He's describing Ultros, who made an appearance at his trial. Ultros Victor Sharp, Jaden McJudas's top donor. Christ's top donor. Bear in mind, this is all will be resolved in the fact or fiction finale.
He was extremely pale, and his skin was. He may legitimately, no joking at all, he may legitimately have some type of
AIDS.
illness, and if he does,
RPG is quite clearly trying to say that the man has AIDS, and he's seen physical depictions of that in the face and physicality of Ultros. But he can't say that the man has AIDS. He can only describe him eccentrically, like the Crypt Keeper, like pale as a white sheet and dying, because he can't say that Victor Sharp, Ultros, has AIDS, because that would also land him again in court. So instead, he dances around the issue.
that's what he looked like. That is legitimately, no joking at all, what he looked like. And then on top of that, his hair, I don't know if I have ever seen hair this unfortunate before. So he was mostly balding, but with the few remaining hairs that he had, he was doing that thing where people, they drag the remaining hairs on their head, they drag them across their scalp like this. So he had 5 or 6
So it's like an AIDS vampire Crypt Keeper Homer Simpson from the sounds of it.
Across his skull,
Homer Simpson, he's describing.
I'm not even gonna lie, he actually looked spooky to me. He actually looked like it looked like the Crypt Keeper. That is the best way I can describe his physical appearance. So I was shocked because from the pictures that I've seen online, he looks relatively normal, maybe a little weird, but not the weirdest person ever. But in person, I was like, whoa, this guy looks sick. He might actually be sick. No joking. He looked like he was, he looked like he got off his deathbed to show up in court. So I was just like, damn.
Teddy really giving it the hard sell.
Damn, this dude unironically is down bad. And I don't know, that made it even more strange for me because it's bro, you were clearly. This is not directed towards him. I'm general.
He doesn't want to get sued.
This guy is clearly not in a good way. So why push yourself to do this? It's frivolous. It's bullshit. You know it's bullshit. All you're really doing is keeping our feud going when the feud is dying down. So, yeah, I was I couldn't believe it, man. I couldn't believe it. He looked atrocious, and I'm not even saying that to be mean. I'm not saying that to insult, attack, harass.
He's helping the guy.
He legit, like he looked like he could have dropped dead right there in the courtroom.
Shit.
So crazy, man, crazy.
All right. And after he delivered that promo, we now go into. We wheel out Jonathan Frakes and we divine the truth of the matter. Ultros, Victor Sharp, Jaden McNeil's top donor, is not a gay pedophile. He's not even Jaden McChrist's top donor. He is in fact the most heterosexual of all the pay piggers. He is in fact the money man. Jaden McNeil doesn't, in fact, bend over on OnlyFans in a nurse's uniform in order to satisfy Victor Sharp's homosexual cravings, because he doesn't do that because there are no homosexual cravings for which to begin with. The previous talking points are writers. They made it up. It was all a fiction. It was, in fact, beyond belief. Jaden McNeil is in fact Jaden McChrist. And he didn't, as we're doing this now, he didn't in fact make a drunken pass at Nick Fuentes during the closing moments of Spider-Man Far From Home. It was Nick who did that. What we said previously, well, our writers, they made it up. It was all a lie. It was all a fiction. Okay, so I'm nearly done with my show, which is great, because I wanted this to, like, wrap in, like, 90 minutes or under. So, as we continue with our final movement, our final act, I have this lined up, which is where? Here. Now, obviously, the total Groiper Destruction arc has brought some of the most amazing OC. Who wants to see Nick Fuentes as a frog with a scorpion holding a Maker's Mark bottle on its back? I do! We do! But now, we shall both surely drown, said Fuentes. Lol, said Ralph. Lamau. I don't scare, bitch! Sauce! Ye made the decision to delete tweets mentioning Nick Fuentes. He was not, and it was not, a condition given to him by Elon Musk or X, formerly known as Twitter. Ye got rid of any Fuentes connection on his own. Any tweets that needed to be deleted because of X rules were done before reinstatement. The ones mentioning Fuentes were taken down after reinstatement. Kanye says no. Kanye declares it's a Ralphen right. Kanye recognizes the destruction that Ralphenheimer has brought down upon the cozy Japan, known as America First. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of Groipers' faces are melting off and their spawn and progeny will suffer radioactive illnesses going forward.
It's our party, we can love who we want, we can kiss who we want, we can fuck who we want.
Now my battery's really running low, so I need to wrap this in like 5 minutes. So here.
That one was a little bit scary. I did not like where he was going with that one.
Oh, that
But
second
still,
clip?
I don't.
So Leafy
Okay, to be.
Leafy has bent the knee in the Ralphenreich. Now Leafy was sweeping it up and showing his bum and wearing makeup, but he has bent the knee and stabbed what he wanted to be his massa, Nick Fuentes, in the back, in order to declare that he is a homo.
Be fair, I'll be honest with that one. I'll give you that one, bro. That one was a little bit scary. I did not like where he was going with that one.
Oh, that
But
second
still,
clip?
I don't. The second clip. But that all being said, I still feel like, bro, he's not 100% gay.
We'll put a
You feel
number
me?
on it.
You know
How
what I
gay
mean?
do you think he is?
I mean, he's not 100% gay. I'm sorry, but any percentile of gay means you're gay. I mean, it's the Brian rules, we might say. But any percentile, it's gay.
I don't know him enough, dude. Should we test it? Maybe like fucking hire, maybe 3 different. Okay, we hire maybe 3 different transgender people, right? One looks like the average one, which is disgusting, right? Then we.
I mean, Leafy, you don't even need to hire a transgender person. You just need to, like, get someone with a big throbbing cock and place them before Nick Fuentes and just see him, like, on it. I mean, that's your gay test, bruh. We don't need to hire 3, one sus, one slightly sus, and one not even sus transgender people in order to place before Nick Fuentes and see which one he goes for, like Goldilocks. No.
One maybe like where Keppels is at, and then we get one that's like some trust fund baby that like fucking. We all know there's that 0.0001% that you can't actually tell, right? What if we sent all 3 of them at him at the same time, and we just see for ourselves?
If they sent all 3 of them at Nick at the same time, every hole would be filled. That would be Nick, willingly, taking it in every hole. If all 3 were sent at Nick in the same avalanche, Nick would be very welcoming.
Like where he goes, because I feel like I can't say a number because we don't know enough. How could we know?
I mean, I think he's kind of made it known, in my opinion, that he's gay, really. But I mean, if you watch the Catboy date video,
He's gay.
Just some of his commentary over the years, and then he just kind of talks gay too. He's 24. He doesn't, even show any interest in women whatsoever. Really.
You're like, what the fuck?
Hating them, which
I
I
think
understand hating women, by the way, but.
I think he likes just black women, bro. He's from Chicago. You know what I mean? Like I think
He just likes those. He just likes black women, bro. If they have abs and a big penis. And they're men. I guess that's just... How will we know? Maybe he's not 100% straight, but I don't know.
I really think that's it. But, I mean, he could have a black woman if he wanted one. Why doesn't he have any?
Yeah, tough question. Answer, Leafy. Why doesn't he have any? If he wants a black woman, why doesn't he just get one?
Solution is he needs to get a black wife right now.
If
Like
that's,
a black girl or a black girlfriend to be wife. I mean, that would be crazy.
It would probably stop making people think he was gay if he did that. At least help.
And it would also make people think he's not racist too.
Yeah,
That's the fucking move.
It could help on both fronts, actually. Yeah.
Do you want me to text him that right now? Like,
Yeah, you text him, Leafy. Text him that big brain move, Leafy.
in Utah, there's 1%.
You'll find that he's slow to respond to your text, Leafy, because he's suddenly balls deep in a in a man. Because he's gay. Why do we need to establish universal truths to move on to episode 5. And that universal truth that has already been established, let's be real, is that Nick is gay and always has been gay. He's a gay man living a gay life. Even his friends, even those that want to be most loyal to him, like Sweepy is here, even acknowledge the fact that he might not be 100% straight. Once that is acknowledged, you are gay, Nick. And once all your friends even like can't even like 100% bat for you on the issue, you are gay. Gay. Gay.
There's only like 5 black women to pick from there in Utah, but I mean,
Yeah, there's only 1% of the population is black here, so I couldn't really help him on that. But like,
The boss is a fag.
hang on, I'll send him a text message right now.
Yeah. Send him a text message right now.
and I'll stop calling him gay.
Yeah. I mean, wasn't it at Sign, Leafy, when he was asking you to send your starfish? He was asking you to spread open your cheeks and send him a picture of your starfish? Wasn't that a sign that he was a bit gay, bruh? Wasn't that a sign, bruh? How long have I got left? I have 6% remaining. So I think I can just about get through the end of this. So when we look at sector adjacent and we look at what's going on, how it's happening, iHypocrites weighed in. Now, you might remember iHypocrite looking like this, but in fact, iHypocrite looks kind of like a cog figure. Like an American cog. But iHypocrite's weighing in.
Hold on a second, let me just hide this. But he's back. The blood god is back, and he demands blood, and it's a new era of internet blood sports. Officially. After yesterday's Leafy stream, we can officially declare that, as I predicted a couple days ago, blood sports are back on the main.
Look at this meme he's made of himself, by the way.
If you missed it,
Amazing.
Leafy hosted a stream yesterday on Rumble. He had Fuentes there. He had Ethan Ralph.
Canadian, of
Jaden
course.
McNeil. He had Keemstar. There was a lot of back and
It
forth.
wouldn't be an iHypocrite stream, would it? If you didn't have random quotes from Marcus Aurelius bestowing reams like this. Are you winning, son? Flash up the Marcus Aurelius.
He had Keemstar.
Oh, there goes our battery. There goes the battery of this. We guess we didn't have. Oh, that 6% really went very fast. All that's left is like there's not even lights on the key. It is dead. It is done. And so with that, juice! It does conclude our show, really, but we wanted to cut like a promo on iHypocrite. Unfortunately, we'll have to save that for the next time. So, peace. Juice. See you on part 5 of Total Group of Destruction. It's the arc that has many twists and turns. Who will go Super Saiyan next? Yeah. So, it's dead, folks. It is literally dead.